World of Warcraft has an abundance of incredible zones, from the far reaches of Northrend to the distant planet of Draenor. In today's video, we'll be talking about the top 10 best zones in the game. I ranked each zone on aesthetics, music, and questing experience, each category having a potential score of 10 for a potential total of 30. The list is based on my opinion, but I'm happy to hear other people's thoughts in the comments. Hope you enjoy. Number 10, Nagrand in Outland. Nagrand is a beautiful zone found in Outland. I like the ways that the trees have been bent due to the catastrophe that occurred to the planet, and the formations of rocks with waterfalls floating in the skies. It's a shattered place that still remains gorgeous, and it looked amazing for its time. Due to this, I've given Nagrand a total score for aesthetics, a 8 out of 10. And the music complements it by adding a serene and atmospheric mood to the zone, which is why I've given it a 6 out of 10. I've always enjoyed questing in Nagrand, from hunting with Hemet to battling the ogres still present here. And for the questing, I've also given Nagrand a 6. Nagrand is an amazing zone. I always find myself leveling here whenever I'm making an ult. That leaves Nagrand with a grand total score of 19 out of 30. Number 9, Red Ridge Mountains. Red Ridge Mountains, to me, really captures the essence of the MMORPG that World of Warcraft wants to be. I love the town of Lakeshire and the abandoned castle keep filled to the brim with orcs. For aesthetics, Red Ridge gets a 6 out of 10. The music is very nostalgic music of Elwynn Forest, and it feels very cozy to sit inside of the inn with it playing. I've given the zone a 7 for music, and finally, I think the quests were above average. Being a human and coming into Red Ridge to fight so many orcs and gnolls is pretty cool, and I particularly like the Keyshawn quest to finish off the zone, scoring a 6.5 for quests. And yes, we're dealing with decimals because this list was very hard to make. These scores leave Red Ridge Mountains with a grand total of 20 out of 30. Number 8, Gorgon. Gorgon, a very primal and savage land that really tells you this right as you enter. The land itself is hostile and is constantly at war with itself. The mountainous Gron battling the giant Genosaurs. The zone is split between the growth of the Everbloom and the canyons of the Gron and other mighty creatures. It also homes the Blackrock Foundry, which is super cool looking and a great raid to boot. Gorgon gets a 6 out of 10 for aesthetics from me. The music as well is very primal and hones you in on this savage new place. You're not dealing with the peaceful Draenor of Shadow Moon Valley or the humble Frostwolves of Frostfire anymore. 7 out of 10. Lastly, I always quest in Gorgon when leveling an ult. It's quick, efficient, and immersive, and I think it's great we get to team up with Rexxar and fight a Gron. 7 out of 10. Gorgon finishes with a total of 21 out of 30. Number 7, Storm Peaks. Storm Peaks is as scary as it is beautiful. The galing winds and the treacherous mountains really bring forth the epicness of the zone. Not to mention that it holds Ulduar, one of WoW's best raids, and so many Titan-related constructs, facilities, and buildings. 7.5 for aesthetics. Like all of Northrend's musics, Storm Peak soundtrack is great. It just feels like you've been elevated to crazy new heights, and yet you're still in danger. 8 out of 10. Finally, I have given Storm Peaks a 6 out of 10 for quests. The Titan related things are super cool, and I like the stuff related to Warcraft 3, but there are a few boring quests here and there. These scores give Storm Peaks a 21.5 out of 30. Number 6, Dragonblight. I love Dragonblight. Such a beautiful zone with activities with the Horde, Alliance, Undead, and Dragonflights. It holds the Great Wormrus Temple, the Bones of Galakrond, the dreaded Naxxramas, and the Wrathgate. 7 out of 10 for aesthetics. Pretty darn cool. The music is put in so well and gives you an eerie yet epic atmosphere. 8 out of 10 for that. The quests are also pretty good. A few run-of-the-mill things, but the Wrathgate quests and Dragonflight quests really pull it up. 7 out of 10. Grand total of 22 out of 30 for Dragonblight. Number 5, Whining Fjord. I really need to go through this zone more because it is so good. I love the Nordic aesthetics of the Vrakel shown in their villages in Utgard Keep. The boat ride in is awesome, plus the Tuskar culture is really cool, and the Great Lift as well was so cool to ride on. 8.5. The music is some of my favorite in the game. It suits the zone so well, and it's so atmospheric, and it just brings in that Nordic vibe. I gave it a 9 for music. Finally, I give it a 6 for quests. There's a few quests that can be a bit boring, but a lot of it is very cool, even having an appearance from the Lich King. In total, for me, Whining Fjord gets a 23.5 out of 10. Number 4, Kazan. I have gone through Kazan so many times, and I don't even have a goblin above level 20. I think Blizzard has done really well with the idea of the goblin aesthetic on Kazan, with all of the billboards, the roads, the buildings, and sludge. 8 out of 10 for that. The music greatly complements such a theme. I can really imagine a goblin walking around with gold in his pockets to this music. 7 out of 10. The quests on Kazan are phenomenal. The vast majority of them are fun, whether it be running over pirates to get back gold or dressing up for a pool party. The goblin starting area is so much fun. 9 out of 10 for questing from me. This leaves Kazan with a total of 24 out of 30. Number 3, Gilneas. Again, been through Gilneas so many times. I absolutely adore the look and feel of the zone. It's such a good sense of Gothic and a sort of Victorian era, which is captured by the architecture and the constant rain, as well as the dark theme of the zone. 10 out of 10 for Gilneas from me. I love it. The music suits the zone so well. The beautiful piano is incredible. 8 out of 10. The quests in the zone are pretty alright too, but it doesn't go too adventurous with too much except for the gunship battle at the end. But the zone has so much Gilnean and Worgen lore. 7 out of 10 for the questing experience. In total, this leaves Gilneas with a solid 25 out of 30. Number 2, Grizzly Hills. The beloved Grizzly Hills rock scene at number 2. It is probably my favorite forest in the whole game. It has just the right shade of green to make it all work. It also has the amazing fallen Vordrasil. 9 out of 10 for aesthetics. Wonderful looking zone. My favorite part of the zone though is the music. And one of my favorite soundtracks in the whole game. And I think most would agree. It's just such a cozy and warm theme, but it feels so epic and rustic even. 10 out of 10. Finally, the quest. Pretty good overall. There's nothing too innovative, but they're fun, and I like the Urso-related things because I like bears. 7 out of 10 there. And with that, that leaves Grizzly Hills with an awesome 26 out of 30. And finally, number 1, Cirma. One of my favorite zones of the whole game, if not my favorite whole zone in the whole game. I spent so much time here in Legion. I just enjoyed everything about it. It was a really good looking zone with a sprawling and gorgeous city of Cirma that you could entirely explore and be a part in. 9 out of 10 in the aesthetics department. It just felt like it was meant to be. The music, like so many others on this list, it just works. It fits the ancient elven theme, and it says to me that magic is a big deal here. 8 out of 10. Finally, the questing. The thing that Cirma was all for. The narrative story. I think it nailed it. I enjoyed every single quest that I did here, from learning about the Withered to helping restore the Nightfallen in Thalisra. Also, Nighthold was a super good raid. 10 out of 10 for the questy experience here. I would be more than happy to do it again and again. Across all factors, Cirma has a grand total score of 27 out of 30. And that's the video. I know that some people won't agree, and some people will, but hey, that's just opinion. But I would love to hear from you in the comments regarding what your favorite zones are and why, as well as what you liked and disliked about the video. Bye bye!